it's funny how people tell me I hate this guy and I hate that guy and I hate this one, but they watch their videos all the time and they subscribe. I'm like, if you don't like the guy, if he's a jerk, don't subscribe. Give him a thumbs down.
Yeah,
If
right.
he's being an asshole on the channel, hit the report button. There's things in place to punish people for being, for being that way.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not just talking about pool channels, but just in general on YouTube. I,
Yeah.
I just love people that oh, I hate that guy and he's too analytical and I don't like this guy. He's a jerk. And I'm like, well, how do you know? Because you keep watching. So it's just funny how there's people that will watch everything but won't watch all of anything.
Right.
So yeah.
Unless you think I'm an asshole. If you think I'm an asshole, then just hit the thumbs down button twice. Click it twice.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And
or like and you can't expect everybody to like you. That's fine. I mean, I've had people that I couldn't watch, that had decent content. I couldn't watch because of stupid things like their accent or whatever. They're not all tolerant of all things. And so I don't expect everybody to like me. And I have to remind people that there's a thing on YouTube. If you don't like somebody, there's a thing called other channels.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah. We're looking at you, Sharivari. No, just kidding. That's one of my favorite channels, actually.
That is my man, by the way. I really dig him. He's not only does he have a huge channel, which he should have, his production level, his knowledge of the game, a lot of things like that. He's one of the three. There's only like 3 pool channels, other than this. There's only about 3 pool channels that if I was a intermediate player, that I would watch to learn the game. Ooh. And so and he's one of them. So that's my boy.
Yeah, and by the way, that accent's a panty dropper. So don't I'm 100% kidding. Sharivari, keep it coming, man.
At least overseas it is. I don't know.
Overseas.
I'm not sure about in Philadelphia, but
yeah, right. Yeah, no, fair enough.
But yeah, he's a cool guy, and yeah.
Who are the other channels? Who else would you recommend besides FX Billiards, which should be the first channel you watch, by the way?
Well, yeah, definitely FX Billiards. Well, I like different channels for different reasons. But I like just about anything that Jennifer Beretta does. Even though she doesn't have her own channel. I'm just crazy in love with her. Jasmine Ocean.
Yes.
I've been a Jasmine fan for a long time. What people should understand about Jasmine is she is one of the most coached professional players in the world. And when I say that, I mean she's working with a coach all the time, her and her brother. Right. So when she gives you information about something, it comes from a coach, not just a player, because sometimes when this information comes from players, they're telling you things that don't relate to good coaching. And so Jasmine, not only is she a great player, I think she speaks the language of coaching a lot better than a lot of players. She also doesn't have traditional fundamentals, which I actually like to see in top players, because people are like, oh, you're not supposed to drop your elbow, and you're supposed to pause here. And Jasmine doesn't do those things. Right. And, she drops her elbow on every shot, and, and she'll tell you, this is how I shoot. You don't need to shoot this way.
Right.
So I do like Jasmine. I like Terminator.
Same
on a lot of things he does. I think some of his drills are beyond what intermediate players should be worried about. Okay. I don't think and he's a great player, by the way.
Yeah, he is.
I think that I like him more. I like him as a person, and I like I like his game. if you're gonna look at a pro and model their game, he's one, and he's also another one that doesn't fall into that. My stroke is my religion. He'll tell you, this is what my bridge looks like. These are 5 other bridges. This is what my stroke looks like. This is what other people do. And he says something, him and Jasmine both say something that I think is very powerful. And it's these simple words, in my opinion.
Hey.
Because there are a lot of people that present their techniques on their channel as gospel. If you're not doing this, you're doing it wrong. And then players run around thinking that that's the case. And I'm, and it kills me, because I tell them, you're following the religion of a guy who doesn't run racks. Okay.
Yeah.
He's better at editing than he is at running racks. And
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, some people are very good at editing and sounding very smart, but they don't run racks in the real world. So you're following this guy's, this is the way you're supposed to do it. And no, there's a lot of ways of doing it. If you take the best 10 3-point shooters in the NBA of all time, you're not going to find 2 techniques that are the same. Okay. Yeah. Even 2 on the same team. Splash Brothers have totally different techniques as to how they shoot jumpers. But pool players, they watch a video and they think that that's the religion. I hear it all the time. Oh, I don't like your bridge. I don't like where you hold the cue. I don't like your stance. I run racks.
So listen, don't criticize. Listen.
If I stand on one leg and shoot like this, shut up until you run racks. Okay.
Now, all right. So, would you say, I think the best way to say it is like those techniques, the stance, dropping all these things are good starting points on your way to develop your own style eventually. Am I crazy?
Exactly. And I think I said it last week. There are certain things that are personal in nature, and there's certain things that are necessary. Okay. But there's a lot of pictures, a lot of video of great players shooting sidearmed, holding the cue, what we would consider incorrect today. There's a lot of that. But certain things have to happen. You got to follow through. If you don't follow through, you're going to have a hard time ever making a shot. How you manage to follow through, if you drop your elbow or something like that, we try to fix it. But if you don't, and you're running racks, I'm not changing it. First thing I tell my students, I probably told you, whatever it was, a year, 2 years, it seems like a long time.
Yeah, we're coming up on 2, I think. Yeah.
Probably the first thing I told you is, I'm going to do my best not to change your stroke unless you're doing something that is totally going to cost you shots. But people take a workshop, see a video, read a book, and they think that your stroke is religion, and it's not. It's not. Earl and Efren do not have the same stroke. Alex and Shane do not have the same stroke, don't have the same stance, don't have the same follow through. Take all of the best Filipino players and put them up against, say, players from China. They don't look anything alike. But you know what they do? They run racks. And so stop thinking that somebody that sounds smart and sounds convincing about what they're showing you is gospel, because it's not. And then people, you know what they do? They go and try to teach it to other people. Oh no, you're supposed to look like this, and you're supposed to look like that, and you're supposed to look like this, and they look like idiots. And I have students. They're like, oh yeah, this guy on my team was trying to help me out. I said, does he run racks? Well, no. All right, until he runs racks, tell him thank you. I appreciate you trying to help me, but I'm going to listen to people that run racks. Yeah. So anyway, there are channels that I don't like, that are good for the game.
Okay.
So I don't like to talk bad about anybody's channel, because just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not a good channel. But there
Yeah, fair
are
enough.
also channels that bring in a certain demographic that we would not have in the game if it wasn't for those channels. But people can relate to the guy on the channel.
Yeah.
Oh, he's nerdy like I am. Where's his pocket protector? Other than the fact that he isn't a pocket protector. So we need that group in the game for the game to survive, and they're also very good for the game when it comes time to find somebody to beat. But
It's like, yeah, what's poker without the fish, right?
exactly, you got to have the fish. If you're at the final table at the World Series, there's not a lot of fish left. So
Right.
so yeah, there are people that I don't like their channel or the way they teach, but they're good for the game. And you know,
I'm such a fan of the Efren Reyes clips, though. That's my jam. The great magician Efren Bata Reyes.
Yeah, yeah. But you have to understand whether you're looking to learn the game, how you want to learn the game, okay, and why you're watching the channel. If you're watching it to learn, that's one thing. If you're watching it for entertainment, that's another thing. And I try to have a balance of both. And that's why I like your channel, because it's entertaining. And we get some education in there at the same time, but it's entertaining. It's not like an APA 3 is going to watch your channel and become an APA 6.
No.
But they're going to have fun watching and seeing what you're doing and seeing your growth in the game, and maybe getting my feedback on what you're doing or not doing. But there's a reason you watch them. If I look at my buddies like Bang Time Pool and Backyard Billiards.
Billiards.
I love those guys. I love them for different reasons than the reasons I love Jasmine, because they're entertainment. And and my boy Jim and Bang Time, I'm not going to encourage anybody to run a 9-ball rack in 45 seconds, but it's fun to watch Jim do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how many racks he goes through to get those clips. Especially he's got the table in his house, right? I think we're talking about the same channel.
Yeah,
Beautiful
we are.
And
and he's been supportive of my channel from the jump. Same with Chuck from Backyard Billiards. If you guys haven't watched Backyard Billiards, he does this King of the Hill thing where he has like virtual tournaments. On top of that, he is one of the best players with a
YouTube.
He's a legitimately good player who could play.
He has his kids come interrupt the game. Walking around. I love his channel.
Yeah, but he's a legitimate player who could play under stress. I mean, there's some guys that, like I said, they're better at editing than playing, and there's some guys that are, garage players that if they had to play a set for $1,000, forget about it. They're not going to make a ball.
Right.
But I think we probably touched on that last week. There's the kid that sits in his room and can play the guitar like Jimi Hendrix, but the second he gets on stage or in front of a couple other people in a stressful situation, can't even catch his breath. So but those are the channels I like. I'm sorry I was so long-winded, but those are the channels I like. And
we got to show them some love, and hopefully they'll show me some love. Hey guys, I know Charivari, I know you're watching this the day it drops. You're probably not, but if you do see it, hey, feel free to shout out my channel. I wouldn't be mad at you.